I'm Chase Cooper and I'm the product manager for Control Rig here at Epic Games. In this video, I'll be showing you what is new for Control Rig inside Unreal Engine 5. We have new updated documentation and everything I'll be covering today can be found here. So let's get started. One of the larger features we've added to 5.0 are functions. Functions are a new powerful tool to construct control rigs. A function allows users to package networks built in the graph into their own node. This allows a user to reuse logic and only have to build it once. Any logic can be configured into a function, simple or complex. Here I'm building a simple function to attach a bone to a control. You can then add this function to your rig graph in the same way you would add a node. Additionally, functions have the capability to be shared across any control rig assets within the current Unreal project. Let's take a look at arrays. With 5.0, users can now store any data into an array. Arrays are containers of rig data. For example, arrays can be used to get all of the controllers or bones in the asset and then run graph logic on them procedurally. Here I am getting all of the controls in the scene by using the item name search node. This node gives me an array back of all the controls I've built. I then run an iterative loop over the controls to procedurally change their color with one node. While it's quite simple, it's one powerful example of how arrays can be used to procedurally construct your rig. Splines. We now feature support for splines, also known as curves. We've added a set of nodes to let you procedurally create splines and attach bones to them. These tools can be used to build IK structures for tentacles, spines, wings, and much more. The Meerkat project in the marketplace has been updated to include a control rig for the eagle that utilizes the new spline tools for its wings. Here I am generating a spline from 4 controls, drawing the spline and then animating the controls to move the spline. We currently offer 2 types of splines, the Hermit and B-spline, which I show. As an additional feature, we have implemented Splines as a plugin for Control Rig. This plugin is meant to serve as an example for users on how they can build their own Control Rig plugins and further extend the system. The dynamic hierarchy. What is the dynamic hierarchy? This will allow you to procedurally change your static hierarchy. By using the dynamic hierarchy nodes inside the rig graph, you can now modify the rig hierarchy any way you'd like during the rig solve. For example, you can change the parenting for a set of controls to be FK instead of IK. Using our splines example, I'm taking the 4 controls and dynamically changing their hierarchy based on a setting. The dynamic hierarchy framework has been extended into a tool called space switching. Space switching allows an animator to change the control structure on the fly to accommodate the current animation. By using the dynamic hierarchy framework, we're able to let controls be parented wherever the user chooses without any popping in the motion during the switch. What you see is what you get. Sometimes things go wrong, sometimes horribly wrong, especially in rigging and animation. To help fix things, you can use the new Debug Mode. Debug Mode runs your graph with unoptimized code and allows you to set breakpoints and step through your graph. This helps you to break down complex logic that might be causing problems. The new heat map view will let you see trouble areas in your graph that might be more computationally expensive than others. This is a great tool for visually optimizing your rig and making sure it runs as performant as possible in your real-time application. Graphs can get large in Control Rig, so we have spent time improving the user-facing graph experience. We've added LODs when zooming out and added a few more levels of zoom. Python support. We've added a Python API and set of features to help users start building their tools quicker. There is now a Python log that will echo all actions in the editor. We've included some examples of Python scripts inside the Control Rig editor. For example, the Create Controls menu item is completely written in Python, and by hovering over it, you can see the path to the script and see how this was built. I'd like to point out a few quality of life improvements. We have completely overhauled the Details panel. Control shapes can be modified visually by using the Control Period hotkey. We've added new constraint nodes to be more intuitive. Finally, to tie many of these features together, I'd like to talk about function libraries. Function libraries allow users to build a library of public functions to be easily shareable inside a project. We are shipping Control Rig with a pre-built function library called the Standard Function Library. This contains a set of functions that users can immediately use in their graphs. They are designed to be production ready or for learning purposes. For example, the IK2 bone function can be used for arms and legs in bipedal characters. Any of these functions can be localized to the current Control Rig to allow safe exploration and easily learn how they were built. The Standard Function Library is a great place to get started exploring Control Rig in UV5.